Hi, it's me, for People Brox, the British tech guru. I've been hearing an awful lot about gender recently. I know this is fairly off topic for my channel, but I'm not really seeing why all this transgender stuff is becoming so popular and such a problem. Back when I was in university, that was many moons ago. Oh, when was that? Oh, God. At least 25 years ago, maybe 30. There were two fellows, two men, who had had sex changes. One was a former civil servant, and he, she, it, whatever you like to call them, liked to go around in a pink dress. Very interesting fellow to talk to, or very interesting person to talk to, as long as you could keep him, her, whatever, off the subject of gender. Once they got on to once the subject became gender, oh my God, impossible. But otherwise, he, she, it had had a very interesting career in the civil service, British civil service, and had some very interesting tales to tell. Okay, I had no problem with listening to tales of their work life. What annoyed me was when they tried to switch the conversation around to gender. Nobody talks about gender in a normal conversation. It is just accepted. Now, there was another one. I don't believe I ever spoke to him, her, it. And that was Dr. Keith Richards, I believe his name was, became Dr. Catherine Richards. He had been the professor of music and continued on being the professor of music. And and as I said, I've never talked to him, her, it, but he, her, she liked to wear short skirts and hike them up when he, she, it was driving driving her Mini Cooper. So that led to an interesting view when she went past. Arms, very masculine. Face, very masculine. It looked like a bricklayer in a miniskirt. But honestly, that doesn't bother me. And I've seen, in Berlin, I've seen men going around dressed as women. I'm very clear because of the walk is different. It doesn't bother me. And nothing bothers me until people start to get into my space, attack me, attack my ideas, attack my thoughts, attack my philosophy, or diminish what I am, diminish the person I am. I don't care if you're straight, if you're gay, if you're transgender, if you're just a cross-dresser. I don't care. There's no real interest. And it doesn't affect me one way or the other what your personal life is. The only time it affects me is when you try to do things that I don't like personally. You're trying to do things to me that I don't like. and literally you could walk past me in the street. A bricklayer could walk past me in the street wearing a pink tutu, and I'd go like, yeah, okay. And this furore that seems to be based around bathrooms is just utter nonsense. The problem is not the actual going into the wrong bathroom. The problem is that we still have, at hangover from medieval times, communal bathrooms. And I don't like communal bathrooms. I don't want to be sitting in a cubicle next to some other guy and hearing him do his stuff. And I don't want to stand at the urinal doing my stuff and some other guy on the next urinal having a good look. No. I detest communal bathrooms. And I think it's time we moved on from them, did like some of the airports I've been in have done, which is an individual bathroom, a unisex individual bathroom, and rows of them down the corridor. In fact, I gather that in Britain, one of the schools did just that, and they had individual cubicles with doors right floor to ceiling. You couldn't hear or see anything. Hand basins the other side of the room, the other side of the corridor, and it reduced bullying in the bathrooms to almost nil, because there was only one person per bathroom, per cubicle, and it could be male, female, or whatever. And I think we need to be moving beyond communal bathrooms anyway. And the other thing we need to move beyond, we have all this legislation to protect women, and it is having an adverse effect. Legislation to prevent discrimination is actively causing discrimination. So we need to do away with all of that, and instead of citing male, female, just cite people. And we don't need to differentiate so much. Just make not safe spaces for women, safe spaces for everybody. And I do mean everybody. And I mean black, white, disabled, abled, straight, not straight, transgender, whatever. Safe spaces for everybody. And there is absolutely no need for a lot of this legislation. There's no need for a lot of this fuss. And I accept people as they are. Why don't you?